Welcome back, everybody, and that was a great interview that Roger just had with some of the students. And now we have our mayor of Spring Hope. You've been on before, Kyle Pritchard. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. When you get to come back, when we ask you back, that means you did okay.
Did okay the first time?
Yeah, your report card is okay.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
So, anyway, Kyle, we're so glad to have you here because Spring Hope is such a delightful little town. And I want to tell you what happened. I told this story earlier, but you didn't hear it. I was getting my hair done yesterday, and my hairdresser said, I'm going over there to that Michael's Showside Grill in Nashville. I said, whoa, 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 wait a minute now. I said, that's not in Nashville.
That's
she
right.
said, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I said, that is in Spring Hope. She said, oh, well, I'm going to venture over to Spring Hope then.
That's right. That's right. Comes to this and the Michael's Showside and Grill. You know, Michael's Showside is really such a well-known restaurant all over Eastern North Carolina. And we have people that drive in from Raleigh, Rollsville, Knightdale, Zebulon, Wendell, all the time just to come eat there. Of course, they come from Rocky Mount and Wilson as well.
Well, he just catered an event here, and first time I've been able to see how his catering was, and it was really good.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
so they actually do a lot more weddings and events than I think people realize, the amount of catering that they do. And so talking about economic development in Spring Hope, Michael Ward with Showside, he's actually helping with the economic development projects in Spring Hope. So he is opening an additional location for his catering business. It's grown that much.
Really?
So he's putting in a state-of-the-art catering kitchen in one of the buildings that was recently restored in historic downtown Spring Hope. So that's great to see those restored buildings actually turning into businesses. And also in the front of that catering kitchen will be where people can go as a bakery and a deli.
Wow.
So they'll have all kinds of fresh goodies that will be baked daily and fresh for everyone at the front of the catering facility.
So
that'll
what
be a
other
retail shop.
Well, that's great. I can't wait to visit. Michael's got it going on. So what in economic development, what else is going on? I know you said you had some new businesses coming last time you came.
That's right. So kind of a highlight on some of the businesses that have already come there. We had a granite manufacturing facility that moved from Raleigh. We have a law enforcement equipment provider that moved from Raleigh. And we have a hair salon that moved from Wilson. We have a massage therapist that moved from out of the area. We have a general store that moved from Raleigh. And so we are getting a lot of things moving from Raleigh that are opening up new businesses and giving people things to do. And then also talk about economic development. We can't not mention all of the great events that we have had recently in Spring Hope. They bring so much foot traffic into our town and especially into historic downtown that brings the people into the shops. It drives them into the shops to spend money. And so some of those events, of course, the Pumpkin Festival, which has been going on since the 70s. We've recently created a new event, Pig at the Depot, which was a huge success. It sold out again this year. We increased the number of cook teams, and we increased the amount of dollars that those cook teams took home, which were all nonprofits, charities, churches, other things of that nature from the area. So they got to take all of that money home and use it in the community. So economic development, to pull off a good plan, it has to include many other things than just thinking about bringing businesses to town. You also have to bring residents into town.
Absolutely.
And so something that we're working on that front is 257 homes that are under construction right now. We have two subdivisions. One is Walnut Cove, and Walnut Cove already has homes available for sale. We actually already have some new residents that have moved in. Bryson's Ridge is going to be a much larger subdivision with larger homes. It's going to be around 200 homes in that neighborhood, whereas Walnut Cove has 57. Price range for Walnut Cove is around $200,000. They're beautiful two-story homes with garages. The way that we laid out the subdivision, sidewalks on both sides, it's really a beautiful neighborhood.
Well, you're coming in with a $200,000 price tag. Those people are going to be flocking from Raleigh, aren't
Oh
they?
yeah, absolutely. And
You're not going to
so-
find anything in Raleigh for $200,000.
No. And we're talking about 1,600 square feet houses, 1,800 square foot houses that they're getting for that price. In Raleigh, you're probably looking at about 300 to 350,000. And so we are seeing a lot of people moving from the Wake Forest area, primarily, that are working in Raleigh. A lot of them are actually working from home, so I have had the opportunity to meet a few of them. But all of those residents that are moving to town, that's going to be additional foot traffic, additional visitors to all of the merchants and the shops in town. So it's kind of a three-pronged approach. And something else I wanted to touch on that will help economic development that's coming up next year is we're going to introduce what we call a Sidewalk Saturday, which will be held in historic downtown. We'll also have a farmer's market going on at the same time, and our goal is to do this once a month, every month, pick a Saturday and stick with it. And then we'd have other activities or live music to draw people to town. So again, we're looking at that third three-prong approach where events can bring foot traffic to businesses.
Well, y'all have really, and Kyle, you bring young idea, fresh ideas. You're young, and you bring fresh ideas and great ideas to this, and some young blood.
Yeah, that's right. It takes a lot of new ideas to really take a town forward. And so you have to dig and you have to look for things that weren't necessarily looked for. You got to turn over stones that may have never been turned over before. And one of those ways that we were able to accomplish this was applying for a rural transformation grant with NC Commerce. That was through the state. It was a very tough process. It was up to 100 counties, and then also every town within those 100 counties could apply for this grant. And so we actually were awarded $800,000, and we're going to use that money. Yeah, that's a nice
good.
big chunk of change, and we're going to use that money to revitalize our train depot in downtown Spring Hope.
Your train depot is kind of famous. It's kind of historic. It's historic.
It is. So Spring Hope was actually a railroad town. So the railroad came through there, and that's essentially why the town came into existence. And so restoring that piece of history will protect Spring Hope's heritage and the memories that people have of that area. And what we're going to do is take that building and turn it into an event center. So it will also have catering facilities, but it's not designed to compete with other catering business in town. It's there for people to rent it out if they wanted to. Example, that catering kitchen could be used by Michael if he did an event over there, or at Showside, Showside could use it. And we'll also work on the lawn area and the landscaping, sidewalks, water fountain, doggy station, benches. We'll extend the platform and the deck around the train depot to give additional exterior seating.
Wow.
So it doesn't have to be just used for weddings or other type of events like that. We could also use it for pop-up restaurants if food trucks wanted to do, say, maybe every Wednesday fried seafood, every Thursday would be ribs, etc. So we could have pop-up restaurants there. And when there's not events going on, it's still going to be a very beautiful space that's a static, beautiful space that's available for residents to walk down and enjoy. Almost look at it as a central park in Spring Hope.
Oh, how neat. Y'all are really doing some great things.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Pig at the Depot will happen again, so we'll
Absolutely.
talk about that as time goes on.
Absolutely.
And Pumpkin Festival will happen again. Now, Pig at the Depot.
Now, there's one more
what
event
month?
I wanted to mention that
are...
just recently happened in about a month and a half ago, was the Pottery Market, the Dan Finch Pottery Market. And when we talk about these events in the tiny town of Spring Hope, we're talking about Pumpkin Festival bringing 30,000 people to town, and the Pottery Show around 2,500. As well as Pig at the Depot around 2,500. So we're talking about bringing a lot of people into town at these events.
So the Dan Finch Pottery was in Bailey, but they have a show in Spring Hope.
That's
Is that
right.
what you're
That's
saying?
right. That's
Gotta
right.
give Bailey a little credit for that now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we were really glad to have that event in Spring Hope. I think
That's good.
people in the area are realizing Spring Hope is becoming a very popular place for events, and it's a great place to hold events as well.
Well, that is great, Kyle. Now, you have been mayor how long?
Only a year and 1 month.
Okay, a year and a month.
So
Well,
very
hey,
new,
it
very
sounds
new
like
to this
you-
position.
Well, it sounds like a lot has happened since you've been there.
It has, and I can continue to touch on a few
Yeah,
points
yeah.
if you'll let me,
Yeah.
because there's so many great things happening. So we've got those new
We're
residents.
going to start charging you, though, for all these Spring Hope things you're talking about.
I
No.
know, we're going to charge them, yes, I know. But along with the new businesses and the new residents, something that we have to do to accommodate them is a high service level with our Public Works Department and our
Right.
customer service at Town Hall. And so last year, we actually brought our Public Works back in-house, whereas before it had been outsourced with a company called EnviroLink. Now that we have brought it back in-house, we're able to offer customized and personalized service to our residents and businesses that couldn't be offered before.
And you're going to have that. You're
Yes.
right. If you're going to get this influx of people coming in, they're going to expect things like this.
That's correct. That's correct. And then talking about other grants that we got a $3.7 million infrastructure grant that was awarded from the state last year, and we should start construction projects with that later this year. So we signed the contract with Wooten Engineering, which is going to work on all of the architectural and engineering design plans. So we're right at the point where we can send that out to bid to contractors, and then we can get the final plan submitted to the state, and then we can start some
Wow.
projects. And so that's going to work on replacing all of the water pipes underground, the valves, giving us updates and technology to our towers and our systems,
Right.
so that our new Public Works Department can manage all of that remotely and stay
Yes.
perfectly on top of it.
Well, that is great. Congratulations to y'all. And of course, we want Spring Hope to do well. I mean, Spring Hope is in Nash County, y'all.
I know, that's right, in Nash County. So, I mean, we are on the western part of the county. We're kind of the final frontier when people were coming from Wake County and crossing over into that Nash County area on the 64. Most people know that highway is 64. And you know, the good thing about it in the entire Nash County is it's a safe county to live in. We're
It is.
well protected by our public servants, and they owe a lot of gratitude. A lot of times they sometimes get overlooked, but they're the ones that save our lives. They're the ones that protect us.
Yes.
The ones that stop on the side of the road when we have a flat tire, make sure we don't get hit, and even change the tire for us, or show up when your house is on fire and save your animals out of the house after you get out. Those are the people that owe a lot of gratitude. And I wanted to touch on our police department in Spring Hope. We actually just recently raised their salaries to
Okay.
competitive ranges, and so there's been a whole litany of things that we have tried to work on in the past
And
year.
hopefully that will cause you to have some retention of
Yes.
officers and things
That's right.
like that.
That's right. So we just recently hired one. We have a phenomenal fleet of officers right now. The service level, that's the thing. I keep saying service level, but the service level of everyone in town, as far as employees, officers, administration, public works, they have all taken it to another level in the past year. And I wanted to touch on a few points because we may be looking for a couple of additional officers this year as more
okay.
residents start moving into
Sure.
town. So our police chief, Chief Gant, I wanted to touch that through some tough economic times in Spring Hope in years past when our police officers weren't paid as much as other police departments, because of the working environment, because of how well our police chief, Chief Gant, took care of our officers during those tough economic times, they stuck with us. He
Wow.
kept a very solid professional fleet of officers out there, even when we couldn't afford to pay them what they were worth. So I can't overstress the emphasis of how good our police chief is in Spring Hope. And a couple of things that I wanted to touch also is he served on the Tar River Regional Drug Task Force. Also, starting salary is around $40,000 now for our police officers in Spring Hope. And as certifications, if you just call, if you're thinking about becoming an officer, give Chief Gant a call and listen to all of his certifications and experience that he has, and you'll find out why it's a good department to come work in.
Well, I'm glad that since the officers did stay without the salary, I'm happy now that they're being rewarded and getting a salary.
That's right.
Because they stayed the course.
That is 100% correct. And so other things that are, of course, very important are resident feedback and engagement, and something that the town has accomplished literally like never ever before is the amount of engagement that's happening. And of course, every town has their core group of people that participate in everything that's going on, but we've seen that core group grow and exponentially grow, double and triple in size for the amount of people that are engaging and getting involved. And so all of these great ideas that you gave me credit for earlier, they're not mine. All I'm doing is listening to the people, and then together we are taking their dreams and their goals
and
for Spring Hope
implementing
and making them reality.
Yeah.
That's it. It's nothing that I'm doing special. It's the people around me that are making all of these things happen.
Well, I congratulate you, Kyle, for what is going on over there. You and your police force and your town employees and your commissioners,
and the commissioners
all coming
also
together.
Yes, I wanted to mention that. As far as commissioners and town councils, I've watched a lot of meetings, and something that I'm so proud and excited about for Spring Hope is how well our commissioners work together, work with the town administration, work with the mayor's office.
That's always good.
It is amazing.
That is great. Kyle, thank you. And thank you for coming on short notice. Kyle always says yes to me when I call him. He always says yes because he's always excited to talk about his town.
Absolutely.
And so we're so proud to have you as the mayor.
And when we make calls, we always get a yes too. So
Yes.
it is reciprocating. So
Well, we appreciate working with you, and we claim Spring Hope. We definitely do, and we hope good things are coming with people moving in and things going on in Spring Hope. We'll have you back. Kyle might have some news for us coming up.
Really,
we don't know.
Really big news. It is coming up, and we can't release it yet, but it'll be a novelty for the state. It'll be something that has not happened in the state of North Carolina before. We're talking about an industry that has only been in one part of the state that's moving to another. And so it's a novelty. It's going to be something amazing for Nash County. Right now, no one is thinking about what's about to happen, and no one really understands the economic impact that it'll have for Nash County. So stay tuned for that. Big news.
Absolutely. And he promised me he would come back if I would keep my mouth shut.
Yes.
He said, I will come back and announce it on WHIG.
That's right.
So,
we sure will.
we'll have you back soon. Thank you, Kyle, again
Thank you.
for coming, and we will look forward to our next visit. So we'll be
Yeah.
right back with you on the Live Morning Show right after this.